For more on the story, we're pleased to be joined now by the former Lieutenant Governor of New York, Betsy McCaughey, who's Skyping in from New York City. Meantime, Skyping in from Connecticut, Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, of course, also the co-author of the best-selling book, Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Betsy, it's ladies first, and we've got a civil war brewing in the GOP. Dr. Carson busy defending himself this week, but his poll numbers continue to keep him on top. I
can tell you one thing, JD. Ben Carson has trounced the media, including the highly credible Wall Street Journal, who questioned the veracity of an account he gave of taking a test while at Yale University. It turns out the Wall Street Journal reporters couldn't verify it, but Carson was able to produce the witnesses to confirm what had happened. Just one more time when Carson has really come out on top. Same thing with that alleged knife fight. He was able to produce the witnesses. So I think the media pretty soon are going to be sufficiently burned by this and back off.
Dick, let's turn to Donald Trump. Last night he was in rare form in Springfield, Illinois. We're going to play some of that a little bit later in our program tonight. For his part, the Donald says he will not go after Dr. Carson. But, you know, Trump doesn't like to be number two in anything. Do you expect he might go on the offensive against the good doctor after all?
Yeah, I think he probably will. The way this works is that if they see you, they kill you. Like with precision-guided munitions in warfare. You can't escape. If they see you, they'll shoot you down. The only alternative is to come in as stealth. So first they saw Jeb Bush, and they piled on him, and they shot him down. Then they saw Donald Trump, and they tried to shoot him down, but they couldn't. Then they went after Fiorina, and they knocked her down. Now they're going after Carson, and a little bit after Rubio. And the game is to advance in stealth, so that they can't see you and knock you. I think that Carson is probably not going to survive the attacks that have been made on him. There are too many, and he has too little in the way of public record to back himself up. It's a little bit like Perrier. It doesn't have any taste, but it is pure. And if it loses its purity, it doesn't have taste to save it.
It's entirely different from chewing gum on the bedpost overnight, but I hear what you're saying. Now look, one candidate who seems to be on the rise and is catching attention on both sides of the aisle, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, with the New York Times reporting that Jeb Bush's super PAC, Right to Rise, will release a provocative video attacking Marco Rubio for his stance on abortion. That group's raised over $100 million, plans to spend $20 million going after Marco. Betsy, how concerned is Governor Bush about Senator Rubio?
Well, many people have asked me whether this is a do-or-die night for Jeb Bush, and it's not, because he's already dead. He's not really in the running. I don't believe he has a future in this contest. Marco Rubio is doing very well, but to me, this is the do-or-die night for Ted Cruz, who is coming up very strong, is likely to be Rubio's biggest competitor among insiders. He has styled himself an outsider, and he has real money, big money, not only in his own campaign war chest, but in a large PAC supporting him. So he has a lot of staying power, and I think he's going to be stronger and stronger. Every time he's on a debate or on television, his polls go up.
And we will keep our eye on Ted Cruz tonight. Now, I need to ask you about this, Dick. On the Democrat side, reports are that Hillary now sees Marco Rubio as a top threat, with Ed Klein, who often appears on this program, reporting that Bill Clinton is saying they need to destroy Rubio. Do you believe that's true? And if so, what does it mean?
It might be a fake out to try to get Rubio nominated. I think that the important thing to bear in mind about Cruz is that Trump and Carson are sitting on a whole lot of his potential votes. Carson from the evangelical community, and Trump and Cruz have so much in common in their issue positions and in their style. And I think that as Carson drops, that's going to release a lot of votes that are going to go to Cruz. And I agree with Betsy. I think Cruz just keeps moving up. Rubio is going to be under fire for his personal finances. And it's a real question as to how his net worth dropped from $200,000 to $3,000 in 2 years, during which he was drawing a salary as Speaker of the Florida House and a $300,000 a year income as an attorney in Miami at the same time. And the accusation here is bad money management. He had to cash in a retirement account within the last year or so. And he got into a mortgage which was way over his head, just recently was able to get out. And it's real questions. You know, we have bad enough accounting in Washington. We don't need a president who's going to have those problems.
Well, Marco,
let me just point out also that Cruz is going to pick up votes not only from Carson and Trump supporters, but also from Santorum and Huckabee and others who are destined to drop out any day.
All right, we need to talk about something else that is going on in the here and now with the current president of the United States, and that is a hot topic that may come up tonight with reference to the economy, illegal immigration, and amnesty. Of course, the Federal Appeals Court dealt President Obama a huge loss last night. The Fifth Circuit Court blocking his plan, executive order really, to offer work permits to as many as 5 million undocumented immigrants. Now, the Justice Department says it's going to take this case all the way to the Supreme Court. Dick Morris, at times it appears this court is more political than legal in dealing with its reasoning. Do you expect the Supreme Court to end up siding with Mr. Obama?
Well, it's very hard to predict the Supreme Court because it really is a misnomer. It's two individuals, Kennedy and Roberts. And the question is, what's going to happen with them? It's become essentially a two-man court with 4 dedicated liberals and 3.5 dedicated conservatives. I do feel that it is very possible that this will be part of a series of court decisions to roll back Obama's usurpation of executive power, reminiscent perhaps of the anti-New Deal decisions in 1935, 36, and 37. But on the other hand, those judges have quite a liberal streak in them. One thing that I think we as conservatives need to take away is to understand that that's why it's not good enough to elect so-called moderates like Bush, because they appoint so-called moderates like Kennedy and Roberts.
And we will have to leave it there. Betsy McCaughey in New York, Dick Morris in Connecticut, we thank you for your time. Be sure to get your copy of the bestseller co-authored by Dick Morris, Power Grab, by visiting the website powergrab411.com. And don't forget, tonight, round about 11 p.m., it's our Newsmax TV post-debate special. You may see Betsy and Dick. You're certainly going to see talk show host Michael Savage and others with us as we join you. And you'll also have a special web address to weigh in on who wins tonight's debate. That's tonight, 11 o'clock Eastern, right here on Newsmax TV. There's more ahead, so stay with us.